Hey guys, what's up? It's Jordan here. So I kind of wanted to do like a 6 month review type of thing. I had purchased this Neewer 2500. I think it was like a W2500 tripod. So basically, let me tell you about this thing. So I needed a fluid head tripod. I couldn't afford a Manfrotto, and when I was doing a little bit of digging, this one popped up. So at most it extends up to, I think, 61 inches, although necessarily don't ever use it that high. At the bottom here, it's got little rubber feetsies, so you can easily take those on and off if you're like in the grass or if you need a little bit more traction. The rubber feet are cool, but honestly, I mean, they're kind of loose, so they always kind of like back themselves out. Anyways, so I'm gonna do a lot of like cons with this, just because after using it for 6 months or so, I've really noticed that there's just a lot of things that are kind of like very nuanced that you're gonna really notice kind of when you start using it after a while. So first and foremost, where the legs spread down here at the bottom. So this piece right here kind of gets in the way, especially if you're trying to open it and it's not extended out, like the legs aren't out like this. And so like if you had it in a closed position like this, sometimes the legs will get caught on that, which is kind of a nuisance, especially like if you're trying to get it like set up before you spread it out and set it up type thing. Same with the main legs up here, same thing. Obviously that's in the way. That's another thing we're gonna get into here in a second. So like sometimes the legs will get caught on this and you kind of just have to spread it out a little bit. So that's kind of like, I mean, it's not a huge deal. It's not a huge deal breaker. It does kind of suck, especially when you're trying to get it set up really quick. Originally, I had my tripod handle set up on the right side. With the way that DSLRs are set up, I really noticed that I always had to have the camera set up like further ahead over here, because this handle would always hit the battery well, and it was always a pain because I'd have to like undo the tripod mount, move it forward, slide the handle down into the position where I wanted it, move the camera back, place that, tighten this, and it just kind of became like a pain. So I eventually switched it over to the left hand side, which in doing so I lost one of the small little clips that holds the handle, the tightening bolt here into place. So it's kind of loose. If I loosened it all the way, everything would fall apart. But I basically just kind of keep it into one area and then just mess with it like that. Another thing too, so with the tripod plate being a kind of, it's nice, it's sturdy, it's aluminum. I mean, this thing right here is not light at all. I would say probably 5 pounds at least, 4 pounds, somewhere around there. It's pretty big and it's quite heavy. So another kind of nuancy thing is where you mount the camera to the plate. Sometimes the camera mount, your 1/4 screw on the mount itself, right here on the very bottom, this little O-ring type of kind of tightening, I don't know what you want to call it, but anyways, I use that to tighten the tripod plate to the camera, and sometimes that will get stuck down here in the grooves, and then like you kind of get like a pencil or something flat to get in there to get that to work and to not be stuck. The tightening plate, the tightening lever right here, so eventually it has kind of worn itself in. So basically this will hit the bottom of the camera. So if this is up against the camera body, and if you're trying to unlock it to get the camera off, sometimes you have to take a coin or a small screwdriver to pop that down. This way you can get it unstuck, and then you're able to take the camera plate off and extract your camera from the plate. So these are all like the downside things to this. I will say though, I have noticed that the actual fluid head itself has gotten a lot smoother since using it. I haven't really noticed a whole bunch, like unless you like physically push down on this, where the actual fluid head will move itself. But if you lock it really firmly into place, it doesn't really do that a whole lot. Obviously, you probably don't want to do that. Just a rare instance, if you hit this by accident, this will move the fluid head tripod mount, the fluid head itself. If you put enough pressure on the handle, it will move your camera. Another downside to this thing, so if you ever move the actual ball head itself, which I know I'm on a table so you guys can't really see this, but basically once you move the ball head into a different position, this is never going to be level again. I hate to say it. The only way I could think that you would be able to get this back to level is if you actually took a level to the tripod, leveled it out on a very level surface, and then never touched it again. Which I use one of these. I know I've talked about it before in other videos and stuff. I mean, this basically just goes into the hot shoe mount on your camera, and then it basically makes your camera level to whatever. If the video does not look level, it's because of this table. I probably should take this off, but there's going to be a lot of glue underneath it, and I really don't want to do all that work. So, other than that, I mean, obviously those are a lot of very basic cons that go with this thing. But to be honest, for as big and as bulky as this thing is, it's definitely sturdy enough to where even with a 75 to 300 millimeter lens on here, I don't feel that the camera will ever fall off of it or this thing will ever tip over. It's so big and sturdy that I really trust this thing with my camera. I don't think that I ever wouldn't. Like, I actually bought a secondary cheap tripod from Walmart. Not the best, probably not my favorite tripod. It was a ONN, whatever, the crappy cheap Walmart ones. It's like $35. It's their like more expensive tripod that they carry, which I will be doing a review on that as well, because I honestly don't think that anybody should ever buy a $30 tripod from Walmart, even if it's all you have. Buy their cheaper one. It's like $20, and then save the extra 10 in a piggy bank and start saving your money to get something a little bit better. So that's basically it. That's kind of like my 6-month review. I would still recommend that tripod, only if you don't have the money to buy something a little bit nicer. I want to say, I think I just checked the price on it on Amazon again. It was like $110, I believe, somewhere around there. Then shipping is probably going to be another 15 or so, just because of how heavy it is. So you're looking at maybe $120. It's worth it. It definitely has its problems, but it'll work. It'll get you in the ballpark to where you need to be, especially if it's something that you need a video fluid head tripod for. So If this helped you guys, please go ahead and give it a like. If you like this video, make sure to subscribe, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit all the buttons. If you guys have any questions, feel free to drop them in the comment. I will answer them to the best of my ability, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.